Here is Ricky Stenhouse from Olive Branch, Mississippi, the pole sitter for last year's 500. Third year in a row that he had started in the top 10, all with crew chief Brian Patty, who followed him here to JTG Doherty Racing from Roush Fenway.
Oh, Patty's got that baby down on the ground. You saw the sparks flying out of it.
Got her down the ground, skewed a little bit to the left with the rear. Try to get that spoiler out of the air, especially in the corners. But tell you what, old Daniel Suarez put up a pretty decent lap. I expected Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to be one of our real major pole contenders here, and he's only what, going to be maybe a 10th faster, 10th and a half.
47-47 for car 47.
If you're Bubba Wallace, you think about every RPM, hitting your marks, trying to make sure you got to get your hand out the window. With the flat, get a little extra speed, get all you can get. Look how close he is right now.
Wow. Filling that gap is what he was doing right
Going
there.
ahead.
I think it worked. Put your hand up there again, Bubba. Put it up there.
Ricky Stenhouse fastest so far in the 47, the Ghost car.
That hand's just filling that gap, like I said, in between the window net and that front window net. You see the A-pillar there, just trying to make sure that none of that air gets pulled into the cockpit, pushing it out around that spoiler.
You can hear that car bottom out there a couple times, so they've got it sealed up to the racetrack.
And it's going to be close, guys.
Here comes the 27-year-old from Mobile, Alabama. Bubba Wallace is fastest by 3/1,000.
Barely. Wow, that was close.
47.474 to Stenhouse's 47.477.
There's a lot of sparks that are flying up from underneath of it.
And look, in the green.
In 2019, William Byron joined Fireball Roberts and Bill Elliott, winning the pole for the Daytona 500, the Coca-Cola 600, and the Southern 500 the same year.
I was going to ask Clint if he thought Bubba put a big enough number up there. I think that just got answered.
Yeah, that ghost is, he's no more. He's getting beat bad. Hendrick again.
It's not over yet, man.
This lap is
47-31. Now all the remaining cars are locked into the race. They all finished in the top 20 in points last year. And here is Bubba's boss, Denny Hamlin, who started outside pole here in 2018 with Mike Wheeler as crew chief. He is now Bubba Wallace's crew chief.
I thought that was a pretty revealing interview by Denny Hamlin, talking about his nerves as a car owner, and you know, his doing his job as the driver of this FedEx number 11 Toyota. Yeah, I don't care where this guy qualifies. At the end of this Daytona 500, he'll be a factor.
always is.
Three-time winner in the last 5 years.
Going for 3 in a row.
Sixth for Hamlin, second fastest Toyota to the 23. Chase Elliott, a two-time pole sitter for the 500, 2016 and 2017.
Quite a few sparks coming off the right side.
More than a 24, as a matter of fact, my opinion. Put on a show last night, didn't he, boys?
Man, that was some driving by both those guys.
Won the Cup Championship last year, the first time a driver had been the champion and also the sport's most popular driver since 1988, and that was his father, Bill.
Like father, like son.
Man, as soon as he got to the corner, you saw even more separation. That thing's definitely dragging pretty hard in the rear. Looks low.
Sixth for Elliott. That makes 5 of the top 6 Chevrolets.
Big Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, from what I understand.
I don't understand anything about that. I tell you what.
Look at this lap he's putting together.
This. Absolutely.
Everything's going Tampa Bay's way.
No kidding. Looked like they had a large time down in Tampa today. I tell you what, awesome lap right here, tracking #1. I'd say Erik does a really good job. He's a good plate racer. Always is fast on here in Daytona.
His best start in the 500 is 5th. Spun from the lead on the last lap of the 500 3 years ago.
And he was the only Ford in the top 10 after qualifying here last year in 7th.
He's coming back.
Can do better than that here.
How close is it? Second.
Right there at the end.
By 1/100th of a second.
You know, Clint, normally I would say like a gust of wind or something, but there's no wind out here. So you just wonder, what was that? Was there a little bit of temperature or something?
But you wouldn't think with one lap qualifying that they get that hot.
Austin Dillon, the pole sitter in 2014 here at Daytona for Richard Childress Racing. Race winner in 2018. And in 2020, he had a win at Texas and a season high in top 10s and laps led.
I'm blown away. What happened right there, Larry? I'm talking Erik Jones. Come off of turn 4. No more.
Yeah, I mean, we just went back and looked at the ghost car run again, and it just, I mean, it was right there. It was almost like the Truex Denny Hamlin finish of 2016.
Austin Dillon is 6th. And this is not Jimmy Johnson. Boy, sure looks like his car, but Jimmy has retired with 7 championships at the end of 2020. And Alex Bowman at Hendrick Motorsports. They put away the 88, and he is now the driver of the Hendrick number 48. He has started 1st, 2nd, and 2nd in the last 3 Daytona 500.
He's also driving away from her ghost car.
Yes.
Looky here, boys.
Well, we see about the same amount of sparks as we saw in the 5 car of Kyle Larson, but it does not seem to be affecting this 48 car.
Nobody has ever started on the Daytona 500 front row 4 times in a row.
I think we're about to change that.
Till Sunday.
We give a lot of credit Greg Ives. This 48 team, Hendrick Motorsports, that's one heck of a lap right there.
Boom away. 47.05. That's a quarter of a second faster than William Byron.
47 flat.
It wasn't. That's not a little bit, Jeff. What was going on there?
He went fast.
So those cars were all built the same stable.
You're going to have to go down there and talk to those guys about that.
Kevin Harvick last year won the most races, 9. Second most ever by a Cup driver over 44 years old. Lee Petty won 11 in 1959, including the Daytona 500. But that's back when they ran 60 or 70 races a year. So hardly comparable to the season that Kevin Harvick had for Stuart Haas last year. He won everything but the championship.
He won everything but the championship.
Correct.
But if
I expect him to win a bunch of races this year.
I'm just going to say, if I know Kevin the way I do, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, something to prove, and he's going to come out swinging.
3 top 5 finishes in the 500 in the last 6 years. He won it in 2007. 6th for Harvick.
This is a name that you've heard a lot of in dirt racing. He raced last year with us. Didn't hear a lot of it. I think that's going to change.
You're going to hear this guy's name a lot.
Christopher Bell promoted to the Joe Gibbs stable this year, and he is paired up with last year's Kyle Busch crew chief and championship-winning crew chief Adam Stevens. This will only be Bell's 2nd Daytona 500. He was with Levine Family Racing last year. 2 top 5s and 7 top 10s in his rookie season with that team.
Well, right now, tracking to be the best Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota out there. I mean, I know we got Bubba Wallace up there, but he's not a Joe Gibbs driver. But this guy is, and if he can qualify in the top 10 here, boy, I think that's going to be some speed and confidence in this young man behind the wheel.
And he does. 7th. 47.57 for Christopher Bell, 2nd fastest Toyota. And there is the overly excited showman, Alex Bowman. He's the pole sitter for the Daytona 500.
He does his talking on the racetrack, he said, right?
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.